So for so long, I just floundered, and then through circumstances in my life, through the death of my husband, the loss of a child, I started using chemicals and using drugs and drinking to just keep free from feeling what I was.
I was weary of failing in my secret sin. I was weary of going to God as failing all the times I'd promised to do better and asking for forgiveness again, and the shame that goes with it and the guilt. And it was enough to where I felt unworthy to serve in any capacity at church or anything like that. That's how much the guilt carried with me.
To that point where I knew something had to change, I had to do something had to happen, and I just hit my knees. And
one day God showed up and made it very clear to me that I needed to do this. I needed to change my life based on His strength and not on my own. I wasn't going to be able to do it on my own. And that God had a plan for me, and I needed to be in that plan. And God made it very clear to me that the lies that I'd bought into, the arguments that I'd bought into, this is something that I can handle. It doesn't affect other people or other relationships. It was exposed to be the lie that it was, and it was painful.
I just got involved. It was like coming home. I knew that this was where I was supposed to be, and this was God's plan for me. I didn't get here by accident. This was a road God had paved, and just through obedience and walking down the road He laid out for me, I'm here, and it's such a pleasure to serve Him by serving other women who have these similar issues to me, and to help them through the grace of God heal and find their path that God has made.
God laid CR on my wife's heart. She suggested that I go, and I wouldn't have thought of it. I assumed it was for people with chemical dependencies. I just never would have put that together, and so I went. And the second meeting I attended, there was a man about my age that gave his very honest testimony. And as soon as I heard that, I knew that was where God wanted me to be. And that's where I've been ever since. At CR, I found myself in an environment, it was very surprising to me. It was an environment of men, and there was no judgment. There was acceptance. There was support. It's a safe place.
We are not a place of judgment. We are not a place to tell you do step A, B, C, D, and E, and your life will be perfect. That's not what we do. We encourage. We love on you. We depend on God and the Bible to comfort and bring us joy and happiness.
It's also not a place where other people are trying to fix you. That's God's work, and that's the basis of this program. God does the healing. God does the restoration. God makes the changes through Christ, and that's comforting. It's not on me. It's not on another person to do it for me. I've got God to do that for me.
I don't have to be ashamed of anymore. I use it to share the gospel and to spread the gospel, and only God can do this. Only God has the power to take that and turn it to His good glory and His good use, and I'm just in awe with that. But
so here's what CR is to me. It's a process with tools that's God inspired, Christian made, and allows healing and victory for a broken man like me. And that healing comes through victory in Jesus Christ, through His strength, through His grace. I have two choices. I can choose to live in bondage to my sin, or I can choose to live in freedom. And I can't express the freedom that I feel now strongly enough. Through God's strength and His grace, and through the love of Jesus Christ, I've been able to change, and I continually find that freedom and express that freedom, as I attend CR.